Hello YouTubers, I have a little repair video for you guys today, and it's on a 1999 Oldsmobile Aurora. And basically I decided that I was going to change out these mounts here. This is the front center engine mount, and it's kind of a pain to take out, but I'll show you guys how to install one today. This is the original mount off the car. You can see it's a little bit cracked around the edges here, and it was kind of making the engine move up and down a little bit too much when it shifts. So I decided I'd change it out. And this is a picture of a new one, basically similar. It has this extra plate on it. It's basically for a Cadillac North Star engine, but it will also fit the Oldsmobile North Star engine, which is 4 liter. The Cadillac one is a 4.6, but they use the same engine mount, so you could put it on either one. While you're also changing out the front mount, you should change out the torque axis mount, which I could show you guys in a second. Basically, this is one I remanufactured myself because you could no longer get this part. So basically, I'll make another video that shows you guys how to rebuild this if you intend to do it yourself, but I don't want to waste time with that today. I'll show you how to put it back together first. This is the original torque axis mount over here. You can see that it gets like this depression right in here because all the weight of the engine compresses it. And then you can see, got caught my glove. On this side, it's really squished, and you can see some fluid was leaking out right in here. It starts to crack, and there's hydraulic fluid in here, and it starts to leak out. And this one was really bad, so I'm pretty sure this one was what I was noticing the most out of both of those engine mounts. But basically, this guy goes up inside here, which it's really dark in there, so let me get my light. Here we go. Alright, so down in here, get the light here, is, fuck, it's still dark. That's kind of a crappy view, but basically it goes down in there. It's like a big area where it sits. It bolts in here. There's a big bolt. I'll show you guys later when I get better light going here. But basically this is the whole side of the engine, and the tensioner is completely out of here. And there goes something fell. But yeah, you want to take off the tensioner and remove the idler pulley, and basically that gets everything out of your way, and you could pull this guy out of here. So I'll show you guys how to put that in. First, I'm going to start with the front center engine mount, since my engine's kind of just floating here on a jack at the moment. I have a jack stand under this wheel because it makes it easier if you take it off to add everything from under here, because it's basically the only space you have to work with. You could kind of see up in here. I found the easiest way to take this out would be through the side here, right above the subframe, after you remove the AC compressor, which bolts into that hole, and that hole. 3 bolts hold that in, and there's a stud on the back, which I could show you guys later once I'm under here, that hold the compressor in. And if you look way back there, it's laying on the ground, but I'll show you a closer view later. So basically you gotta get your jack under here, pick the front of the engine up, use a piece of wood, pretty big width would help distribute the weight. Pick it up, get the weight off of it. Then there's a bolt. Yeah, I can't get my hand in here. There's a bolt inside that hole, and then there's a bolt up by the manifold that holds on top of it. And I can show you guys when I'm putting this new one in. I'm going to use this aftermarket mount, which I could post a link in the video showing you guys where you can pick this up. It's basically a positive rubber compression mount made by North Star Performance. You guys can look it up. I'll show you how I'm going to put it in here. Basically, I'll take it through the side here. I know it's dark, but you guys get the idea. I'm just going to, hopefully I can lay it there so I can get it on the other side of it. Stay. Okay. So basically feed it up through there. So here we go. Let's see if I got the light to shine in there. Okay. So that's where the oil filter goes. I took that off because it's kind of in the way. Originally I worked around it, but oh shit, it's fucking pitch black. Alright, that's a little better. There's this wiring harness that's a pain in the ass the whole time. And I ended up, you could see the hole right up here. Right, you can see the threads like right about there is where the oil pressure sensor goes. And I accidentally broke that because this bracket right here goes on the engine mount and holds it in to the engine, which if I could show you guys, maybe not, there, can't get my camera in there, it's fucking tight. You could just see one bolt hole right now. The other one is up to the right a little bit. Can't really get the light in there and the flash light at the same time. Let's see if I can do it this way. Maybe. There we go, there's a little bit of light on it. Well, there's one up here. We got the exhaust manifold. One there, and one there that go into the tops of these two studs here. And then you got two studs that go in on the bottom here, and the engine mount goes through this metal hole right here. So it's a pain in the ass to get it out, but basically, if you could, let me show you guys. If it goes this way, you can lay it in like this and angle it upward and get it up in there. But first, I want to pull this mount through this hole, which you guys aren't really going to be able to see. I'm trying to do it with one hand as well. But, kind of just like wiggle this thing in here. Make sure you're careful, the brake lines are up there on the main frame. But that's about it. Here's what the oil pressure sensor looks like. And this is a new one. Basically the plastic sticks out above the bracket up in here. And when you go to pry it out, I accidentally pushed the bracket against the plastic and snapped it off, and then it was just a metal ring stuck in there. So I drained the oil and took the filter off, then twisted that out, lost a little bit of oil, let it drip out, and then it'll stop dripping. And then you could just work under here as normally. But yeah, so this is the new one. Little box is over here somewhere. The part number if you guys are curious. I don't know if you could get out without removing that, but the subframe is kinda, you could either lower the subframe, which I did not want to do, with these corner bolts here. If you take these out, it's an 18mm I believe. Get torqued to 140 foot-pounds, and there's another one on the other side there. you could lower that, but I didn't want to fuck with that, so I didn't do that. The only other way I could see to get the front mount out is to take the AC compressor out, which on most of these older GMs is broke anyway. So here's what the compressor looks like up here. Basically you got that 1, 2, and the 3 that went on the passenger side wheel well, and then that's where the hose goes, right here into those 2 studs, and then this is the bracket that the rear stud goes through. Once I get it on there, I'll show you guys what it looks like. That's this one of the sensor plugins there. There's also a sensor down here. This one's from a junkyard. It's a Four Seasons. I can't even get it to focus on there, but I could write the part numbers down in the description. Basically, that's what the clutch looks like. Basically, you want this to spin nice and freely, and then if you put pressure on the clutch, you could hear it in there. It's pretty good. It turns pretty smoothly, so I was gonna give it a shot. Then you need some PAG oil. This basically lubricates the compressor and everything else in the AC system. This is a whole quart. Probably don't need this much, but they don't really sell it in too small quantities. So I wrote down everything that I'm gonna need to fill that. So basically, you guys can see this. These are the fluid ounces of PAG oil for each component of the AC. So the accumulator, which I'll show you guys later, is 3 ounces. Compressor takes 2 ounces. Condenser takes 1. Evaporator takes 3. The whole system takes 2 pounds of refrigerant, 32 ounces, which, depending on the size cans you use or tank, will be different. I'll be doing that later. If you do take the compressor off, you definitely want to make sure you drain the AC system or have somebody do it for you of all the refrigerant. And basically your 2 ports are right in here. Here's one. This is the high side, and then the low side is over here, basically by this wiring harness here by the power steering pump. And then the AC orifice is right here. There's a nut, and then there's a little, the hose has a hex on it that you could loosen it. It wasn't too tight, but this one right here is a 15/16. This is a 20 millimeter, which is odd sizing, but. And then the AC accumulator goes down in there. Just have a towel stuffed in the end of this line here. I believe this is 1.25 inches. And then the AC accumulator was, I used 1 1/8 inches to hold it because it fit over it, but it was sloppy. My guess is it's a 28 millimeter, but I do not have that, so I'm going to end up using an adjustable wrench to get that off, or back on. But I know that that's torqued to 18 foot-pounds, because I remember here. So all the dual fitting lines are 18 foot-pounds when you tighten them. I'm just kind of going to guess what the wrench is of what that is. And the rest of the AC components I have listed here. There's a little nut. I'll show you guys as I do it, but anyway, here's all the specs. And then there's a tightening sequence for the bolts on the compressor. And then here's the engine mount torque ratings. These are all for the torque access mount. Then I go to the tensioners, there's 37. This is for the rear mount, which I didn't show you guys yet, but I didn't actually change it because mine wasn't too bad, but I attempted to change it, and it was, you really have to either loosen the steering rack and pull it out of the way, or come up with some other way to do it. Lifting the engine will not give you enough clearance to get that out, but I'll show you guys what it looks like. And the front engine mount, these are the specs. I'm going to do 50 to the top, and then the aftermarket mount has a slide-through bolt, which I'm going to also torque to 50 foot-pounds. And the studs are 37 foot-pounds. So, I can't really show you guys what it looks like as I'm doing it, so I'll show you as I put the components together what it looks like, and maybe give you some tips as I go here. Okay, I'm going to pause.